Hi, my friends. Welcome back to Homily Highlights for October the 5th, 2025. Today's responsorial psalm is, if today you hear the voice of God, open up your heart and listen to hear his word. And our gospel acclamation today is, the word of the Lord remains forever. This is the word that has been proclaimed to you. And today, Father opened up talking about a story. I love when our priests bring interesting stories that ties into the gospel to us. And this was a story about a woman named Martha, who was in her 60s and was a faithful Catholic. She went to Sunday Mass and she prayed her prayers. She treated others with respect and love. And she always had a desire to go to Rome. But she had a fear of flying. So she really wanted to go, and she thought, I don't want to wait. Right now, I'm physically capable of making this trip. So I'm going to do it. So she fearfully gets on the plane with her biggest crucifix that she has. And she is praying all the while that they take off and they're in the air. And she looks out the window of the airplane. And she notices that one of the engines, of the 4 engines, looks like it's going to fall off. So she screams out, oh my God, we're going to die, we're going to die. The flight attendant comes over and tries to calm her. And the captain comes on the intercom and says, attention passengers, we have lost power in one of our engines, but we're doing fine. We're stable. We'll be able to continue the rest of the flight. And there's no problem, so don't worry. Well, she's still in a panic because she hates flying. She looks behind her, and there's 4 bishops sitting on the plane. So the flight attendant, who's trying to calm her down, says to her, oh, I know you're a woman of faith. Look, there's 4 bishops that are on this flight. Martha says to the flight attendant, I'd rather have 4 engines working than 4 bishops on this plane. So it brought a laugh from the congregation. So in the first reading, we heard from Habakkuk, and he was crying out to God in the midst of violence and despair, asking, God, where are you? God, where are you? I feel lost. I feel fearful. I feel helpless. Where are you in the midst of all of this? And in our gospel reading, the apostles asked Jesus to increase their faith. They were feeling fearful. They were feeling doubtful. And that calls to us, because don't we feel fearful and doubtful at times in our life as we face the everyday anxieties and challenges and big problems that come into our life? So Father said we look for big miracles. Faith changes us before it changes our circumstances. I love that. So in the midst of all of the troubles in this world, we're really called. That's what faith is. Faith is holding on in the midst of the storms. When Peter went out on the water to meet him, and then he was looking at Jesus, and then the minute he took his eyes off of him because he realizes the waves and the storm was going to engulf him, he started to sink. And he cried out, Jesus, Jesus, save me. And Jesus said, Peter, I'm right here for you. Just keep looking ahead at me. Focus on me. So in the times of trouble and in the times of doubt, we have to say, Jesus, I trust in you. And today is actually the memorial of Saint Faustina. And Saint Faustina was a Polish nun who Jesus appeared to. And we have her writings, the Diary of Saint Faustina. And that's where we have our beautiful devotion to the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. And the word, Jesus, I trust in you. And that's what we need to focus on. We have to remember, God doesn't ask us to have perfect faith. Just keep believing. Just keep trusting and saying, Jesus, I trust in you. And today's closing song was a song that I'm sure you've sung before in church. It's called Rain Down. Rain down, rain down, rain down your love on your people. Rain down, rain down, rain down your love, God of life. With that, have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace and love.